Okay guys, this is a topside oil change on a Mark 7 GTI. This would apply to any other vehicle that has a topside oil filter. So for some reason when I recorded the audio or the video, it did not record the audio. So this here is what I was talking about, the topside oil filter. If you have something similar to this, then you can do a complete topside oil change. If not, you'll still have to get underneath the car for the filter. Most sizes are like a 32 or a 36. So here's what we're going to need. Obviously oil. You can check your manual or look online and see what kind of oil is recommended for your car and how much. I'm using an oil extractor. This is my second time using it. And I'm going to demonstrate how to use that. It's pretty cool. So on the GTIs and most of these 1.8 and 2.0 liter Volkswagen motors, you want to remove the engine cover so you can have better access to the oil filter. So I usually start by just going ahead and checking my oil to make sure that it wasn't low, even though I regularly check it. Plus you can see just how dirty the oil is. So just leave your dipstick out because that's where I'm going to be using the oil extractor at. This is the oil filter. It comes with a O-ring that's going to go on the oil filter canister. So this is the oil extractor. It's a vinyl tube. It runs down through the dipstick tube, and you basically just run it until it's completely flush at the bottom of the oil pan. And then most models are pretty much the same. You pump this and it creates a vacuum, and that pulls the oil up and out. This model recommended 10 to 12 pumps. As you can see, there's already oil coming through the tube. You can see how dark it is. And then here you can see the level of oil because this model is kind of transparent. There are some metal oil extractors out there you wouldn't be able to see in. And then, of course, it does have a maximum limit, but for this car, it'll hold all of it. If you're going to buy an oil extractor, I recommend you buy something that's going to hold enough oil. You know, if you've got a big diesel pickup truck, you may need something a little bigger. So, as you can tell, it's pulling oil through. It's created a vacuum already. And now we just wait. Towards the end, of course I cut out some time here, you'll notice that the extraction line starts to kind of vibrate, and that's air bubbles moving through. It doesn't say you have to, but I usually give it a few more pumps just to make sure I've got it completely dry. Okay, so I like to get a few squares of paper towel just as I'm pulling this out so that if there's any oil left in this line, I'm not spilling it all over the engine bay. And this extractor has that black tube sticking up. It's kind of like a holder, I guess, for the line, so that we're not just laying it on the ground. Pretty handy. So just stick that down in there. I usually take this second to just run the dipstick down in there and just make sure that it is empty, which I didn't do. And now you see me using the on these cars a 32 millimeter. It's not super tight. You don't want to be super torquing, but these are replaceable if you damage them. Unfortunately, I don't think they're readily available at local auto parts stores. So honestly, the only reason I'm using that big bar on the 32 millimeter is because it's the only 3/8 I've got on hand. So you finish unscrewing this by finger, and of course have some paper towels ready because oil is going to drip. As you can see, there's this rod that sticks out. You want to try not to damage that. That's actually part of the oil canister. And then here, it's very hard to see, but there's an O-ring. That's the O-ring that comes with the oil filter. You want to replace that as well. So pull your old filter out, toss that to the side. I usually wipe down the canister a little bit, pull the old O-ring off, toss that. Like I said, the new oil filter, at least the ones from Volkswagen, come with a new O-ring. So slide that back on, and you want to make sure you seat it all the way down to the bottom. Take a look before you take the old one off so you know where to put the new one, because I have heard of people leaving it in the threads and then it doesn't want to thread all the way back down. You end up with leaks. So I put the new oil filter in. As far as I know, there's not a top and a bottom. It doesn't say anything on any instructions. You just want to make sure that it's seated all the way down in there so that the canister can screw all the way in. And once again, be careful not to damage the rod. With these, I usually finger tighten and then just give it a little, not even an eighth of a crank with a socket, but just to make sure it's snug. Basically, you want it to be where you can't really loosen it with your hand. I usually take a minute, try to clean up as I'm going. And now it's time to put the oil in. You want to look at your manual and see what your car recommends. I ordered from Shop DAP. It's Deutsche Auto Parts. Ordered this kit, and it comes specifically for your car. I'm running Liqui Moly 5W40, and this car takes 5.7 liters, which luckily Liqui Moly comes in liters, not quarts. So that big bottle was 5 liters, and through the magic of video editing, it took all of 15 seconds to put in. And then I'm going to put 0.7 liters out of this little bottle in. It's got markings on the side of the bottle, and you can see how far in you are. So that's all of that. Once again, some more paper towel. And we're done, basically. So place the oil filler cap. Don't want to lose that or forget it. And then start your motor up. Let it run for a few seconds. Let it work the oil through everything. And you can check it again. Make sure it's full. Video of the engine running. I was going to point out that after it's been running for a few minutes, you want to make sure that you don't see any leakage around the oil filter canister. And then, like I said before, you can check your oil. Make sure it's full. Nothing too difficult here. Just making sure you line up the I don't even know what you would call them, the posts with the cover, and snap that sucker back on. So if you've never done a topside oil change, I recommend it. Let me know if you like this video, and I'll see you guys next time.